Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how I hold serve. Now this might not necessarily be the way you should hold serve. See, what I do on my serve is I go for the ace or the service winner on almost every serve. And this doesn't negatively influence my first serve percentage. See, my serve is my best shot and this is what I base my game on. Now you might be a different type of player and maybe you shouldn't try to adapt my style and you should go more for placing the first serve and getting a higher first serve percentage. Also, if you have some technical deficiencies on your first serve, you don't want to go for the ace or for the service winner every time, because what's going to happen is your first serve percentage is going to suffer tremendously. And guys, it also depends who you are serving against. If you know your opponent, you got to look for strengths and weaknesses on the return. For example, if they have a really good backhand return or a really good forehand return, you have to take that into the consideration. Or if they maybe have bad reflexes, you can maybe consider doing a body serve. In my case, I'm playing one of my old students who I used to coach, who just came back from college. He played for Clemson. So you can see he's serious. I'm going to have to serve well. I got my towel and I got my old racket. So this is no joke.
My shoulders don't fly off. There we go.
So it's not a bad thing to start off with an ace, and that was a good serve. So now I'm going to continue along this way in the first service game. I'm going to put a lot of slice on the serve. That's going to help me get into a rhythm by getting a lot of first serves in, but I'm still going for the ace. I'm only going to do it this time with a slice down the tee. Okay guys, so I got two first serves in. This is great. And actually now I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to actually try to go down the tee and I'm going to flatten it out. Now let's see what happens. In my case, the tee is my lowest percentage serve. This is the one I miss the most, and I only do it when I'm way up in the game, so I can afford to miss it there. I'm up 30 love. And now when it comes to my second serve, I always go for absolute control. I do not want to double fault, so I'm going to put a lot of kick on this one and go very central in the box. All right, so there I missed my forehand, just very early on. Some rhythm issues, and now it's 30-15. Now, okay, this is very important that I win this point because there's a big difference between 40-15 and 30 all. So now I'm going to go for my favorite serve, which is the out wide one. I have a pretty big confidence in this serve, and I'm going to use this one in the important points. All right, guys, that was great. I got that serve in. I got the point. I'm up 40-15. And now I'm actually going to do a body serve. Why not? I'm going to see how his reflexes are. And I'm up 40-15. I can afford to change things up a little bit. Ouch. So guys, that service game was pretty good. I only missed one first serve, and it was at 30 love. I could afford to miss that one. I got the rest of my first serves in. I got a very comfortable hold, and I'm going to try to get a break. Okay guys, he held to 30. It's important how the other guy holds. Now if you have a lot of break points and you don't get to convert the break, this can influence your next service game in a negative way. And let me try to now continue along the same path. I'm going to go out wide to his forehand. I still feel like he hasn't gotten his rhythm. I can still draw some mistakes from his forehand return. Long. All right guys, there's something I don't like, especially at 43 years old, the long rallies, but I got this one, which is very important. That first point in a service game is absolutely huge, and it's a big difference. So now up 15 love, I'm gonna go again to his backhand out wide. All right, so there I missed two first serves and I had to rally, and I missed that forehand, but I felt pretty good about that forehand, and I'm gonna have to switch it up a little bit. I can't continue going to his forehand. He's gonna get used to it. I'm gonna go flat down the tee on this one. Yes, That was huge because, and very important point, I want to be up 30-15, not down 15-30. So now I feel good about my serve. Let me do another one out wide to the backhand. This time I'm going for the ace. Okay, now it's very interesting. He got me with that deep forehand to my backhand, and I was 30 all. And I'm feeling like I'm gonna surprise him. I'm gonna go wide to the forehand, but I'm gonna put a little extra juice on this one. I'm going for the slice ace out wide. Come on. Huge point there, humongous point, and I got it. So now it's 40-30. Let's see, I gotta think about this one. So this is why it's important that you take your time in your service games. Don't rush, think about what you wanna do. Okay, so I missed a lot of serves in this one, and I missed a lot of flat serves. So let me go back to the slice, this time down the tee. By the way, I hope he can't hear where I'm going. I'm pretty positive he can't, but let's hope so. Very good. That worked actually. The plan worked. So guys, those were a couple of my service games, and the way I'm serving doesn't necessarily apply to your game, but a couple of general tips when it comes to holding serve that can be beneficial to your game is, most importantly, you want to take your time between points. A lot of you guys have a tendency to rush between the points, and when you rush, a lot of times you don't make the perfect selection of how you want to structure your service game. So make sure that you take a lot of time between the points, and then before every serve you need to have a plan whether you're going to serve flat, slice, or kick, and also in which direction you're going to serve. Make sure that you add a lot of variety to your service game so they stay unpredictable. You don't want to have the same patterns over and over again. However, there's one exception. If your opponent has a glaring weakness, for example, let's say your opponent has a really bad backhand, in that case, there's no problem at all to continue serving the ball to the weakness. And at the recreational level, the biggest problem with holding serve is the second serve. A lot of recreational players do not possess a kick serve. They have a slower version of their flat first serve, and they have a tendency to just guide the ball in. And then, of course, they're going to be playing a lot of defense, and it's very easy to get broken that way. So guys, it's hugely important that you learn proper kick serve technique, and I have a great video titled How to Hit a Kick Serve that explains in great detail what you need to do on your technique when it comes to the kicker. So during those service games, I mentioned that I usually try to aim my second serve very central with a lot of kick, but then I did this. So from time to time, I will change up my second serve and I will slice it on the ad side through the tee, and on the do side, I will slice it out wide. And I will be very selective when I will do this. Usually this will not work when I'm down in the score or down in the match. This is an act of desperation in those circumstances, and it will rarely work. And don't be concerned that your second serve is going to be predictable or easy to return if it's directed right towards the middle of the box. In fact, if you execute the second serve with kick, the ball is going to have enough rotations on it that even if your opponent attempts to hit winners, they're going to commit a lot of mistakes. And when it comes to holding serve, it's very important which ball you select. And I'm sure you've seen professional players pick 2 balls out of like 5 or 6, and they're doing this for a very specific reason. You always want to pick the ball that has the least amount of fuzz on it. So out of these 3 balls, I'm probably going to put this one away. And if I take a look at these 2, I'm probably going to take this one for my first serve and then put this one in my pocket for the second serve. Now, some of you guys might think this is ridiculous. All these balls look the same. What is the difference between serving with a ball with a little bit of fuzz on it versus a ball that has just a tiny bit more fuzz on it? And there might be some truth to that, but we as tennis players, we tend to magnify these things and appear to be a much greater difference than it is in reality. However, in my opinion, you want to maximize your service game. And even if you can get 1 extra mile an hour from your serve out of the ball, why not do it? So guys, I highly recommend that before every serve, you select the balls that appear to be the fastest. And guys, lastly, it's very important that you have a positive mindset in your service games, and also that you portray confidence. If your opponent sees you angry, frustrated, or with a lack of confidence. For example, if you're walking around with slouched shoulders like this, and this is usually when you will get broken. So portray confidence in your service games. Walk with your chest out, with your shoulders up, and you look like you're in full control even when you get down in the score, let's say love 30 or even love 40. If you watch the greatest servers in the history of the game, players such as Boris Becker, Ivo Karlovic, or John Isner, they very often come back from love 40 down. And if you watch these guys carefully, they don't look like they're gonna get broken. They have their chest out and they look like they're in full control regardless of the score. So guys, if you apply some of the tips in this video, you have a much better chance of holding serve more consistently.